Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Can't find a message from Hermina still, but maybe you sent it to my page rather than in an actual private message, Hermina. But anyway, in answer to your question, Hermina, there's a session this morning. Ta-da! If you get into this room, it means the session will run. If you don't get into the room, you'll probably see a note saying your next session is in 14 days, I think. So if you try some of the sessions, you'll find this message saying next session, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. So there will be sessions tomorrow, and then I'm off and just over a week. Okay. So I hope that answers that question. General questions about grammar, vocabulary, post them in the forum so that everybody can answer, or in live chat so that those of us who use live chat can answer. Okay. And by live chat, I mean the live chat page, which is probably where you've come from, Selma. Hello. Could you type 111 if you can hear me, so I know I'm not talking to myself? Thank you, Shiny. By that bon voyage, I guess you know, I know then that you can hear me. And hello, Mohammed. Welcome to everybody. Today we've got a lot to go through, so I'll just confirm to those of you who were playing the Riddle Me Re game on English radio, the correct answer was flower. Okay, so those of you who answered flower will be going into the draw for a free lesson, a free one-on-one lesson, the only way you can have a one-on-one lesson with me. So congratulations if your answer was flower. I'll announce the results of the draw tomorrow. I wish I could give you all a free lesson, but as you know, I can't. My time is too limited. So let's begin. First of all, we'll go to live chat, see what was happening on live chat this week. It was nice and quiet. So we started basically with lots of highs, the usual suspects of hello, hi, how are you? And then we had Rohit was very excited because he actually saw the live session on replay, and so I mentioned him. So hello, Rohit, if you're watching the replay. But he did say, I was impressed when I saw my name and my email ID on YouTube. And I was really scared because I thought, what do you mean your email ID? And I thought, well, he sounds quite happy about it and he's calling me smart, unless he's being sarcastic. And then I realized he meant his name, his message. Okay, so, and that's what I hope you meant, Rohit. So if you're watching this again and you see your email ID, see, email ID would mean your full email, which I would never share publicly. But if I ever accidentally share the wrong window, please let me know because I can blur it out, okay? If you watch some of the videos of the streamed events, you will see sometimes a portion will be blurred, and that's because I've accidentally shared usually my own email, and I don't want to put that on YouTube. The nature of YouTube. Okay, Erin came along and said, anybody help me for speaking very well? Won't really get much help speaking in a chat room unless you're going to say what you've just spoken out loud. But Zom was quite right in saying, why don't you... Oh, there's that message again. Still haven't got rid of it. Why don't you join speaking activities on the internet? And she said, I like the voice sessions run by the Learn English Network. You've got to say that on my page, haven't you, Zom? Okay. Erin seems to be a little bit confused, but anyhow, she's helped him out with some of the links, etc. Now, when you post and you want, I need help, I want to speak well, follow the links, take the advice that you're given, but you'll have to do it yourself. Okay, I can't fly into your country and show you on your computer exactly what to do. So when you're given help, accept it and do a bit of exploring. Okay, there you go. So hopefully we will see Erin on the forum, all motivated to join in and get involved. Chiol came along and asked about the question to be in over one's head and said, can I say he's in over my head? No. Okay, that's quite easy. No. You are in over your head or he's in over his head. Okay. So you might, if you say he's in a situation that you can't handle, then you would just say something. There's no real idiom for that. You would just say, he's trying to drag me in, maybe. He's trying to drag me in, but I'm in over my head. If you wanted to give that kind of meaning, okay? So he's trying to drag me into this situation, but I'm in over my head. So that would indicate you can't cope with his problems. We also have a saying, Chiol, not my circus, not my monkeys. Okay. But if he's a close friend, try and help out or point him to somebody who can. If you're in over your head, don't get stressed. Find somebody who can help him maybe. Okay. Or her. I don't know. But thanks to Zom for trying to help. And you're quite right. You would say it about yourself or about someone else, but you can't mix the two up. Okay. And then Stephen came and asked about a question. I'm not sure what you wanted, Stephen, I'll be honest. But you seem to think I've been in the BPO industry. Now, be careful, okay? Business process outsourcing industry, because it also means British Postal Overseas. British Post Office Overseas for the Armed Forces. And I was like, what industry? And then I figured what you meant. Okay. So it's pretty good. And Zom's corrections. Wow, Zom, you really have got somewhere, haven't you, with your English? I would say perfection. Well done. And I'm quite right. Can't you? Oh, by the way, just the end bit, actually, Zom. Can't you do both? Or can't you work / do both? Not can't you work, do both. Can't you do both? Work in the business industry and go back to theatre. Okay, pretty good. Very good, in fact. So live chat is there. You can ask questions there and you can join this session there. Okay, I will put it into the link here so that people know where it is on the replay. Okay. You'll find that after today's session there'll be a bit of a gap, but you'll be able to register for the next session. Hermina. Okay. Let's get down to business. Okay, here's the forum that I keep talking about, and today we are going to look at last week's challenge number 50. Oh wow. Now, well done to Shiny, April, and a little bit late Monique, but I trust you, Monique. I know you'd already got that and you posted it up. Do you know how I know? Because you spelled keyboard wrong. So let me go through the actual answers. It was all about music, but pop music, really. And don't forget, you will need to mark any questions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Mohammed, whether you're saying what is good. But anyway, it's good for me. I hope it's good for you. Yeah, you can mark your comments as questions just next to where you write your message. Little drop down menu, and you can mark it as a Q with a nice shiny Q. So my question exactly, what is good, Mohammed? You might also see your question or your comment highlighted. Okay, and then you'll see it on the actual screen as well. So your question mark, don't forget. Yeah, don't forget your question mark. Okay. All people here are British. Not quite. Hi, Marco. Nice to see you. Okay, I'm British. I'm here to help you improve your English. So let's have a look at last week's English Vocabulary Challenge. Okay, so just to explain to those of you who are new, the challenge is held on our Moodle site. You go there and log in with the password I give you. You see a picture. This is specifically for Leos. You see a picture and then you come back to the forum, and depending on what the picture asks you, sometimes it's a picture with numbers, sometimes it's a picture with an explanation that you have to do something, write something, but you come back to the forum to do the writing. Why? Well, because Moodle costs money, and if I can limit the amount of traffic in there or the amount of content, I don't have to pay as much. Okay, we are always restricted in what we do by money. So we're already paying for the forum. So let's use the forum as if it's part of the Moodle site. Okay. Okay. So the answers were, now I would have accepted stage, but band or rehearsal, that's what was happening on stage. Okay. Stage, yes, but it was a band having a rehearsal. Okay, and a rehearsal is something you do before the main event. If especially you guys who come to our drama session, yeah, we often rehearse first and then we film the main event. We don't take it too seriously, but a band who's charging money, yeah, they have to practice a lot. So you practice it and then you perform it later. You might have already rehearsed maybe a presentation. So you practice in front of the mirror or in front of friends and family, and then you give your presentation. But you should rehearse. The second picture was lighting. Okay. And I've got a little picture here. So we can see this is the lighting. Okay. The one thing you have at concerts, even small concerts, little gigs, lots of lighting, spotlights. Okay, so these are spotlights, but all together on this rig, it's a lighting rig, you have the sort of combined term of lighting. Okay, then we have the drummer or drummers, plural. Okay, in this case it was a drummer, and here's the drummer. So, Rupsal, I hope you watch this. Phil Collins is the drummer. Cymbals, okay, the cymbals on the drums. And the cymbals were here, these two discs. If you hit them, they make a nice clanging noise. They're the cymbals. And then we had the drum set. So the drum set is what the drummer plays, and it's a set because you've often got a big drum, two smaller drums, cymbals, maybe some bongos, that kind of thing. Can't remember the last time I went to a band where they played the bongos, I'll be honest. Okay. Then we had the keyboard player. Oh yes, electronic music. Ever since we discovered electronic music, then we had the keyboard player. Here he is there, looking very intent over his keyboard. Really funny, that one. I love it. Then the guitar cases. Now, I haven't got a picture of that, but they're basically more bags, bags specifically for guitars. But we tend to call them cases because they're there to protect the guitar. Like your suitcase is there to protect your clothes. Guitar case protects the guitar. Then we had the stage. Okay, so number 9 was the stage, and of course the stage is where the band stands. Okay, not every band has a stage, but usually, even in pubs nowadays, there'll be a little raised area for the band to stand on. Next, it was the electric guitars. Now, guitars, there are lots of sort of different types of guitar. There's acoustic guitar, which just plays through the soundboard, no wires, no cables. And then there's the electric guitar, which requires all sorts of fancy equipment. So here we've got the electric guitar here. He's playing, the guitarist is playing. Maybe it's a Fender, don't know. But it needs to be plugged in to make any sound. If you've ever tried to play an electric guitar with no sound, it just goes thunk, thunk, thunk. Then you've got the lead singer or the singer. Okay, now it says the lead singer because it's the guy at the front. Sometimes when you watch concerts, there'll be some attractive ladies at the back, usually attractive ladies. They're called backing singers, okay, because they're at the back and they back the lead singer. And sometimes you go to a concert and it's just a singer, okay? It's just a singer. But this is a band, so there's more than one person on stage, okay? Then we've got the microphones and mic stands. Now, if you notice, although I'm saying it looks like mic, doesn't it? But it's short for microphone. So even when it's written short, it's still pronounced mic. So you've got the microphones and the mic stands. And usually singers, I think Madonna uses an earpiece, and some singers who dance a lot, they use a sort of headset or earpiece with the microphone coming round. But a lot of singers, they still like the mic stand because they can make love to the mic stand and the microphone. And he's rocking it. Look at him swinging it around. Yay! Having fun. Okay. Now, the people who set up the equipment, okay, the band, okay, little bands have to do it themselves, but generally the band are backstage, and on stage at the beginning of a concert you've got loads of big tough looking guys. They're called the roadies. They have to set up all the equipment, okay, and all the rigging and the speakers and everything. They have to do all the heavy lifting basically, because the singer here, he looks a bit weedy, doesn't he? Probably couldn't lift a cup of tea. Then, of course, you've got lots of electronic equipment. So you need wiring or cabling or cables, and they go everywhere. If you've ever seen, you have to be so careful. Sometimes they tape them down so that people don't trip over them, but you've got cables coming out of the guitars, sometimes even out of the drums, out of the keyboards, out of the speakers. There are cables and wiring everywhere, the spotlights, everything. Okay, then you've got now if you notice I say speakers, the full term is loudspeaker. Okay, and the loudspeaker usually a lot bigger than these tiddy little things here. That's the sort of speaker you'd have at home. Speakers at concerts I go to are usually taller than the singers. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit tiddy little speakers there. There we go. Okay, bass guitar is another kind of guitar. So you've got electric guitar, and a bass guitar is an electric guitar, but this is the bass guitar. It's a lot deeper sounding, and it has thicker strings than the electric guitar here. Okay, not sure what this guy's doing with his guitar. Interesting. Okay, then we've got the guitar players or guitarists. If you play guitar professionally and you get paid for it, you can call yourself a guitarist, like a drummer, okay? Otherwise, you just play guitar or you just play the drums. Okay, so a drummer and a guitarist and a singer, they are professions really. And you have to be paid, in all honesty, you should be paid before you can call yourself a singer or a guitarist or a drummer. That's why I don't call myself a teacher anymore, because I don't get paid. I used to get paid to be a teacher. Now I'm a helper. I help you learn English. And then you've got the PA system, the amplifiers. Okay, so you've got the speakers, which I showed you, and behind that or to the side you'll have amplifiers, and they'll pick up different musical instruments. The PA system is usually the personal announcement, okay, and that's when you get the concert will be starting in 5 minutes. That's a PA announcement, okay, so public announcement, sorry I should say, PA system, public announcement system, also including microphones, etc. So before I call you in to have a little chat, so raise your hands if you're ready to join me. Yeah, Rima, you've asked, trip over or that's not really a question, is it? Trip over or stumble over wires. I would say trip over. Okay, you stumble over something, or something trips you up, and I would say wires are more likely to trip you up because you're more likely to catch your foot in them. Okay. And whereas if you stumble over something, it's more likely that it's raised off the ground, you don't notice it, and you stumble over it. And it might not move. So you might stumble over a rock, okay, because you didn't see the rock because you were on your smartphone. You might stumble over the curb because you didn't see the curb because you were on your smartphone. There's a lot of stumbling over going on. But trip up is more something grabs your foot or catches your foot, okay? But pretty much you could use either. Okay, so Patarasiri, hello, hi. Okay. No more events on Hangouts. No, Hangouts are going. Hangouts are dying, by the way. I did make the announcement before. So we're now using YouTube live chat, which is combined with Webinar Jam. We used to use Hangouts, but slowly things were deprecated and stopped working. So I found an alternative in Webinar Jam. Okay. And hopefully it's working. Anyway, I can't see any hands going up, so let's move on to asking a couple of questions, if you don't mind. Okay, so I've got a question for you all. I've asked some of you this before in a Skype, in a Second Life session, actually. But have you ever been to a live pop concert? Now, we call them sometimes gigs or festival. Festivals tend to have lots of different bands playing. Salma, okay, general, mark your questions. I'll try and answer that later because I don't want to run out of time. Okay. And if I can't answer you in the call, I'll answer you privately. Okay. So, I've got somebody wants to join. April, come and join me. Oh, April, you thought number one was about the place. No, it was about the event, but I accepted stage. I mean, it's not wrong, and you wouldn't be marked down for that. It's difficult to say. Usually, in these challenges, number one is the whole thing. And the whole thing in this case was more than just the stage, it was the event, which was a rehearsal. But never mind. Okay, April, I'm inviting you in. I hope you can join me because it's much better if you come and talk. And if you want to talk, you raise your hand by clicking on Request to Speak button at the top. Okay. April, take the mic.
Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning. How are you?
Monday. Good Monday.
Yeah. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Actually, so far, Monday's doing all right for me today, so it's okay.
It's a
What's your
beautiful
question? What would
day.
you like to say?
It's
Or your
beautiful
answer?
day today.
Is it?
So
Oh no, it's grey
yeah,
here.
here
Bit
is
grey here.
sunny.
Oh, send it over here, please. It's not that far.
So the question is for later.
Yeah, ask questions later. I'd like you to answer my question first. Have you ever been to a live pop concert, a gig, or a festival, music festival?
I have been in live live music, but I can't say it is a gig or a festival because it's only in a small level. So it is a group of music group. It is a performance of music group, but it is just in a park, and not so many people were there. You can sit there and eating or drinking something whilst watching the music. They are playing the music, so I don't know if I can say that it is a concert or a festival. But I've never been in Tomorrowland, for example, even if it's not so far away from my place. And there are also every year there are oh I lie actually every yeah, yeah, no, I remember, no, I can say that I've been in a now not really concert, but there are a lot of people there. That is every year in the summer we have the summer festival, and every afternoon uh, one or another group will play on a plane on a stage like real, but it's not a concert for the whole day or a festival for the weekend. So it's only for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know if I can say that that it is a live concert.
Well, it's live and they're playing to entertain you. So I've just typed up, I don't know if you can see, but I typed up an open air concert. So it's not quite a festival, but it might be a community event, that kind of thing. I used to go to in fact, I used to help set up the Bristol Festival when I was living in Bristol and do some of the artwork and the signs, and then I would volunteer and hand out programs and stuff. It was fun. I loved it. But they don't do that kind of thing in Germany. So it's a bit of a shame. I miss the Bristol Community Festival. But anyway, that was an open air concert. It was a free concert as well. So there was no admission fee. It was just people turned up and had a nice day. So I'd call that an open air concert. It sounds like that's what you went to. Okay.
Okay, that's something like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, nobody else is asking, answering my question. Have you ever been to a live pop concert gig? Try to, even if you don't want to come, even if you can't come and speak, do answer the question in chat because it'll make it more interesting for me anyway. Okay, so my next question, which April's already answered, was it a big event? Okay, so it was a small event, I would say. For yours, April, it was just a small event. It wasn't a big event, okay? But some of these festivals, as you mentioned one, April, what was it? The one that's near you? You've never, Tomorrowland, is it? Is that a
Yes,
big event?
tomorrow. Oh, it's very big, Clint. It's for 3 days, Friday up to Sunday afternoon, and the place is just bigger than a football field, I think, twice as big as that. And I'm sorry. And oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard of Tomorrowland, by the way. I'd love to go. So it's a big music festival. Glastonbury's too is too. In fact, Glastonbury is an arts festival. Yeah, it's even more than music. It's called an arts festival, although most people go there for the music. Um, but you can go there and there'll be sculpting, there'll be painting, there'll be theatre, even circus acts, believe it or not, which is a bit strange, but poetry reading, etc. So these festivals aren't always just about the music, but I'd love to go to you should go to Tomorrowland with Monique. You should make a date. She'd go with you. Okay, so what do you call the people who go to these kinds of events or concerts? I heard, yes. I hope you're not coming down with what I had, April. What do you call the people who go to these kinds of events? Any ideas? Okay. Oh, Hamina, excellent. Hamina's coming in. Hamina, I'm inviting you now. Okay, just so that you know, when I invite you in, you will lose the sound for a couple of seconds as you go through the sound check. So there is a price to pay for joining the session with voice. Yeah, well done. Fans. Yep, you can call them fans. If they're paying to go into the concert as well, we can also call them a concert goer. Okay. So if you're called a concert goer, it tends to mean you've got a ticket. if you're a fan, well, it might be a free event or not, but you're a fan of the music or the player. Festival goers, yeah, excellent. Well done, April. Absolutely. You can call somebody a festival goer if they're going to a festival, okay? Concert goer, even if it's a festival, but a festival goer, and I'll hyphenate in it. I'll hyphenate it, okay? A festival goer if it's a Glastonbury, etc. Often you hear on the news around Glastonbury time, festival goers were involved in long traffic queues as they attempted to reach Glastonbury. It's a norm for these big events. Lots of traffic, not enough roads. Okay, so well done. Now there's another. I wouldn't call them enthusiasts, to be honest. Watch out for enthusiasts. 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 An enthusiast. It's sort more like a hobby. Yeah. If you're an enthusiast, a train enthusiast, you like trains, that kind of thing. Music and following groups and following singers and entertainers, you tend to use fans. There is another name for a fan, but the sort of fan we talked about when we did our One Direction sessions. Luckily, we didn't stream those. Otherwise, I'd have had death threats by now, I think. Can you remember the One Direction? What do we call fans who take things a bit too far? Okay, Hermina, can you hear me? Are you in the room? I'm waiting for Hermina. Not stalkers, close. They act in a stalkerish way, yeah. But we tend to call them groupies. Yeah, groupies. Extreme fans. Fans who take things a little bit too far. And that's the wrong one. Hang on, bit of cut and paste problems here. So if you become a big fan of a singer, you might join their fan group. What would you call that? You might join their fan club. That's the one I wanted. I'm not in a fan club. That's why I couldn't remember the word for it. So you might join their fan club. Or, and if you're really, really huge fan, you might become a groupie. Be careful of becoming a groupie. It's really sad. Don't do it. Okay. You become part of their fan base. If you start following them on Facebook and Twitter and you join their fan club, then you become part of the fan base. Oh, you can't hear me. I'm breaking up. Oh no. That's because I've invited Hermina in. Hang on, let me stop screen sharing a moment.
No, it is only an explanation to Mohammed, Lynn.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey? Oh, I see. Thank you. We are talking. We are speaking. We are speaking, Mohammed. Okay, I am, and April is. So that means 222 equals I can't hear anything. Okay. Okay, so Hermina's still not in the room, I don't think. So Hermina, where did you go? Marco, I'm going to invite you in. Okay, we'll see what happens. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to take a screenshot because it says Hermina's in the room and she's not. And it says Marco's in the room and I haven't even invited him. So that's going to support. Okay, webinar jam. Let's put that in. What's the date today? 2017. It's the 13th, no wonder.
The day before Valentine.
Yeah, I know, but it's the 13th, so no wonder Hermina can't get in. Oh, yes, day before Valentine. Okay, Marco, I'm going to invite you in. It is working today because April's here, so hopefully you'll be able to join us. Okay, let's carry on. So if you become part of the fan base, you're a fan. If you start doing creepy stuff, you're a groupie. Okay, don't do creepy stuff. It's not fair on the band members, for starters. It makes them go a bit weird, I think. As you said, April, stalkerish. Yeah, like stalking. I think that's a good one. They probably don't think of themselves as stalkers, but that's how they behave. Okay, what sort of things do fans do at concerts? Okay. If you go to a pop concert or a rock concert, what kind of things do fans do there? Any ideas? Hello, Marco. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello, good morning.
Hello, hello. Nice to hear you. Sorry, Hermina, it is working. It might be your connection's just not strong enough. You do need to have a good, solid connection, and you can't use your tablet. I've just remembered Hermina often uses her tablet. Tablets won't work. You've got to use a laptop or a PC. Okay. They're working on an app to work with Android and Apple. You can watch and listen using a phone or a tablet, but you can't participate. You need to log in on your laptop, Hermina. Okay, that might explain it. So let's have a look. April, excellent. Enthusiastically listening. Yeah, quite a lot of listening. Although, to be honest, some of the concerts I go to, some people go there to talk, which is really annoying. Clapping hands and taking pictures. Well, Shiny, good question. Jumping around, yeah. Marco got a special word for that. Do you know what it is, jumping around? We've got a special word for the jumping around bit. Have you ever been to a concert like this? Marco, take the mic.
Like a punk concert.
Yeah. Do you know what this area in front of the stage is called at a pop concert, a rock concert, or as you say, punk rock concert? Any idea what this area is called? I don't go in there. It's called the mosh pit. This is the mosh pit. Okay. I don't go in the mosh pit. I like the atmosphere. I love the people. They're great, but I don't go in there because they're mad. And then they start jumping up and down in the mosh pit. They're moshing. To mosh. It's a verb. I don't mosh. Okay. And they bump into each other and they climb onto the stage and they dive off it and people catch them. Sometimes even the singer dives off the stage and the people catch them and then pass them over. Very trusting, very trusting.
But Lynn, someone
Yeah.
audience withdraw and the
Yep.
singer.
Splat. Go onto YouTube. I was just about to say, go onto YouTube, type in stage diving, and you'll see some of the crazy things that people do, including the ones where they unfortunately get hurt. So that's why I don't go into that area. I used to do a bit of moshing, jumping up and down, but not anymore. I'm too old. But I still go to concerts like this. Not that old. So we've got listening. Yep, that's what you're meant to do. Taking photos and videos. Now, interesting. You know what? When I was doing this list, I didn't actually add listening, but it's a really good point. Okay, so taking pics is not allowed these days, not thesis day, these days. That's what you'd say, these days. Okay, so the plural goes on to days. Okay, it is in some concerts. In the big concerts, Rolling Stone, they're very precious about making money from everything that goes on in the concert. So they have been trying to ban taking pictures, but everybody's got a smartphone now. You can't confiscate a few thousand smartphones at the gate. So I think bands have started to accept people are going to record the concert, people are going to take photographs, let it go. People have sometimes paid over £100 for these things. By the way, I don't go to those kinds of concerts. I go to gigs. I go to small, intimate gigs where you can actually see the band. They're not 6 miles away on tiny little stage with big. I don't go to the O2 Arena. I've been to Wembley, but that was a special anti-apartheid concert, so I wouldn't go to the big venues anymore. It's too impersonal. I like small gigs. So take photos, videos, yes. As long as you don't get caught. Who's going to catch you? And quite often they don't mind. Most of the bands I go to see say, "Yeah, take photos, record it. Just don't try and make money out of it. Don't bootleg it." Okay. So bootleg recordings are illegal recordings. Okay. And you can buy them. They used to be very popular on tape. But you're stealing from the band if you do that. Recordings for your own personal use, I don't think it's an issue. Okay. So let's see. Nice one, Hermina. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so taking pictures is allowed in some venues. In some venues, it's got photos saying no photos, no videos, no cameras, no recorders, no. Miserable lot. Okay, they wave their hands in the air as well, and sometimes they actually wave their hands in the air, and they have their lighters. Yeah, if it's a nice smoochy song, yeah. They might put the lighters up. Sometimes just the smartphones nowadays, which is so unromantic. Okay, so good point. Well done, Hermina. Yeah. Okay. Then they buy T-shirts or posters and CDs. Absolutely. Quite often you go to a concert and you can buy the merchandise. Okay, we call it merchandise. Merchandising, yeah, to merchandise something. But this is the merchandise, and you'll find on sale maybe even hats. Sad to say, my husband's got a wedding present hat that he bought at one of their concerts. It's a very nice little woolly hat with wedding present on it. It confuses Germans quite a lot. Oh, was that a wedding present? No, it's the name of a band. Okay, so people dance, mosh, they clap and whistle, yeah, especially at the end of the concert. Now they might whistle for an encore, and an encore is, everybody know what an encore is?
When audience doesn't allow the group to left the stage.
Yeah, it's at the end of the concert to leave. Yeah, to leave the stage. And the band walks off, and then the crowd goes wild, and they start stamping, and they start whistling. And then, I am one of those. And they clap, and if it takes too long, they start slow clapping. That's not good. And then the band comes on again, and they do another set. Okay. Well done, Marco. Absolutely, that's an encore. Even though it's not even though it's a sort of non. What would you call it? It's a French word. You'd expect it to be sort of for classical concerts. You still use it as an encore at the end of a pop concert as well. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, the other thing that people do at concerts is get drunk. And they also get high. It's a fact, so you can't ignore it. Okay, to get drunk, to drink too much alcohol, to get high, to take something, maybe a legal high. I'm not sure what one of those is, but smoking, sniffing, whatever happens a lot at pop concerts. Okay, but you don't have to. I never have. I never will. I just go there for the music. That makes me high enough, to be honest. Okay, now the fans might also hang around and ask for autographs or selfies. Nowadays, people are asking for fewer autographs. That's when you give somebody a piece of paper and ask them to sign it. Okay. But nowadays they want selfies, so they want to stand next to the band or next to the singer or the drummer or the guitarist and take a photograph with them in the picture. That must be so annoying. And groupies take things further. They might try to invade the stage, get into the dressing room, onto the tour bus, find the hotel, hang around. Remember the One Direction video we watched? Oh my goodness. Okay. So how are we doing for time? Yep, we've still got 8 minutes. What do we call it if a band's playing in different areas? When they're playing in different towns? Or a singer, yeah?
Tournee.
Not a tourney. That's more like a fight. It's more like a fight. A tourney is like, in days of old when knights were bold, so they'd go for a tourney or a tournament. It's not a tournament or a tourney, no.
Tour.
A tour, that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yes. Excellent. Well done. We say they're on tour. Well done, Marco. Yeah, exactly.
Shiny
A
wrote there,
world
Shiny
tour. Yeah, world tour concert. Exactly. You might go on a world tour. You just might be on the road or on tour. On tour tends to mean playing in lots of different places, maybe different countries. On the road, maybe just locally traveling around. Okay, but a lot of bands do this. It's how they make most of their money nowadays. And what do we call the places they play at? Because it could be a pub, it could be the O2 Arena or Wembley. They've all got the one name. What's the generic name for the places they play? Any ideas? Not venture. I mean, that's good word, but you might talk about a business venture, but you're close. The first three letters are spot on.
A venue?
And yeah, that's it, the venue. Yeah, the different places people play are called the venues. And it's the tour manager. Now, sometimes a small band, they have to do everything themselves, including the roadieing. They set up everything themselves, they book everything themselves. But if you have a manager, the tour manager will organise all of that, the travel arrangements, the venues, the accommodation, everything. And some bands, when they get big, and some singers, they have special requirements. So, it has to be this kind of water in my dressing room. I want that kind of towel on the Egyptian cotton towels on the stage. They have very strict demands. Okay, so the band might have strict demands. And the tour manager has to do that. What you find is the more famous people become, the more demands they have. Now, at a pop concert, you have sometimes more than one band playing, but it's still not a festival. At a festival, you have lots and lots and lots of bands playing. Oh, don't forget to mark questions as a question. Well done, Shiny. Marco, take the mic.
About venues. How I think that I heard like something like this. Will the venue take a place? Is that like an event?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that personally, but yes, of course, sometimes people confuse event and venue. The venue is the place, the event is the event. So will the event take place at the venue? But yes, people might say, will the venue take place? Or don't know why, but yeah. just muddling up
Just
their
venue is
words.
Olympic Stadium, for instance. Venue,
Yeah, or
okay.
it might imply that the venue might not be ready. Okay. But it's still an event that takes place in a venue. Okay. Will the venue be ready? I mean, during the Olympics, everybody was worried that the different venues wouldn't be built in time. As it was, everything went fine-ish, apart from the swimming pool water colour. Imagine swimming in that. But yeah, because sporting events have venues too. Okay. So I wouldn't say it personally, but yes, that's what they mean if they say it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Shiny has asked, do they have seats in a venue? Well, it depends on the venue, Shiny. I have been to seated concerts. The PJ Harvey concert I went to see at the Jahrhunderthalle in Frankfurt, that had seating area and a mosh pit. How nice. I was in a seat. It was lovely. And then I went to see, who was it? C6 Steve. There was seating there as well. But then I went to see Calexico. There's no way there'd be any seating at a Calexico concert because they want you to dance. They'd be horrified if everybody was sitting there, sitting there listening to their music. They want
Sinner in
people
the
to get
sea.
up. Yes. But yeah, it depends. It depends. Occasionally, I will go to a venue and I'll find a seat, and it's lovely because then I just sit there. I'm getting old, you know. Okay. So, where were we? Oh, yes, the venues. Now, when you go into a concert or festival, there's several things that might happen. Okay, you have to have a ticket. Quite often, they're electronic tickets nowadays. Okay, with a barcode, and then you get your hand stamped, or you might be given a wristband before you're allowed in. You might even be searched. Okay, I have been to concerts. I'm always a bit worried. I think, oh dear, what kind of people are they expecting here? But they might search you. They might look in your bag. Okay, so do be aware. Just like going through airport security. Okay. If you've never experienced it and you decide to go to a concert, don't be surprised. Anything can happen. Okay, so the band usually plays on the stage. Okay. And each band has a set. Each singer has a set. And it's like the performance. Okay. So the singer, the band has a set, quite often written on pieces of paper at the front, and it will tell them which piece of music they're going to play next, which song they're going to play next. Okay. And fans will try and grab the set lists off the stage. So you often have between the band and the fans, you'll have security, big bouncers ready to stop people trying to steal stuff. Okay. Now, behind the scenes, so this is all front, it's all very glitzy and glamorous, but behind the scenes we call backstage. Do you know what you need if you want to go backstage? Any ideas? You've got a ticket to get into the concert.
VIP ticket.
Yeah, but also there's another thing. What about the roadies? They need to go backstage. How do they get backstage? Through security. They don't want a ticket. Any idea? Yeah, do you want to see the back of the stage? The back is called Backstage. Do you want to go backstage? Okay, they either need to have a band member with them, the groupies, or you need a backstage. Sorry?
Disguising as a cleaner.
To get backstage, you need a disguise. Maybe if you're a groupie, April. No, you need a backstage pass. Okay. Generally, it's like a sort of visitor's pass. You might clip onto your clothing, or you might hang it round your neck, and it's called what we call a backstage pass. Okay, so reporters, for example, photographers, anybody who wants access to the backstage. Now, Marco, you mentioned that you can have a VIP ticket. Absolutely. Okay. Some VIP tickets are sold as access all areas. And then you can hang out with the band. And sometimes some bands will organise a meet and greet between fan club members, official, I'll put there, official fan club members and the singer or band members. But some fans try to get on the stage, which is a stage invasion, or backstage, and they will do anything to get backstage. Okay. So obviously you've got a lot of gear. I mean, if you look at all this stuff on the stage, what do we call all the stuff, including the lighting, including the speakers, including the equipment? Yeah. What's another word for the equipment you need to hold a rock concert or a pop concert? Any ideas? Me neither, Hermina. I was offered to go and see now what Ash. Somebody offered me a VIP backstage pass to go and see Ash, but he never delivered. He was when I was at university. He knew the band Ash, and he said, "Would you like to meet them?" Oh yes, because they were really good. I was really into them at the time. Oh, that would be great. And I told my husband, "Oh, we're going to be able." Never happened. He was bullshitting, basically. BS, BS. Become one of their relatives, Shiny. Well, I don't think that's actually possible, unless maybe if you married one of them. That's a kind of groupie thing as well, isn't it? When you look at it, if you look at some of the big bands and the big singers, quite often they married one of their fans. And I do sometimes wonder if they were just a groupie. But there you go, that happens too. Okay, the equipment, they often call it gear. Okay, the gear. You've got to set up the gear. Okay. And also there's a special term here. They often have a mixing desk and a sound engineer as well. Even small gigs nowadays, because electronic equipment is so much cheaper. You'll often find, even in a pub, somebody will be at the mixing desk to record the actual concert, and then they can sell it as a CD at the next concert. And the sound engineer does all the sound checks. Okay. I don't know if you've ever seen a sound check, but it's a little bit like coming into one of our sessions. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And sometimes when they're doing a sound check at the beginning of a concert before the concert starts, people think it's the band coming on and they start clapping, and then they suddenly realize, oh, it's only a roadie. And it's the roadie's job, that's number 13 in the challenge, to set up the equipment. And they call it the band's backline. Okay. And that's all the audio amps and everything that go behind the band on stage. That's the amps for the guitars, the bass guitars, and the keyboards. But if you do go to a rock concert, a pop concert, a gig, there's one thing you can be sure of. On the ticket, yeah, there'll be a time. What does that time tell you? Any ideas? What does the time on the ticket tell you? Or a bear? I'm not sure about the bear. I'm not sure. Not gear. Not bear. Gear. Not not ear. Gear. Can you not hear the g? I feel like I'm in a pronunciation session and I'm the student. Gear. Okay, on the ticket, there's the time. What does the time show you?
Yes, Shiny wrote the date
Yeah,
of the
that's a
concert
date. Yeah. Okay, so
and the
there'll be a
specific
date.
time when the concert will begin, for instance, at 11 p.m. or so, or something
Okay.
similar.
Okay, so you're quite right, Shiny, and you're quite right, Marco. On the ticket, there's a date. You need to know the day and the month when the venue will be open and the band will be there when the event will take place. But there is a time too. And Marco, the time you have to be present, April, that 60% brain of yours does pretty good, you know. So, Marco, it's not when the event will take place, it's when the doors open. Okay? The doors open at. Now, because quite often there are no seats, and even if there are seats, there are no seat allocations. So, no seat allocations. It's like first come, first served. So the fans, the groupies, they will be there when the doors open so that they can get to the front into the mosh pit to wait for their idol so they can scream loudest and be seen.
Wow.
They might see them, yeah, like, I love you, I love you. And so they can throw their knickers on the stage. It's not too far to throw them.
And they withdraw.
And they will, exactly.
Or
Sometimes
withdraw.
by the way,
If
I
they
don't
are
do
cruel.
this. I don't do this. Now there might be another time sometimes, yeah, when the event begins. There might not, but the time on the ticket is when the doors open, and sometimes they say doors open at 7 p.m. But the band won't come on for maybe an hour or two. So if you are going to turn up and be a groupie, you want to find somewhere comfy to sit. I go to gigs sometimes, and there's already a couple of hundred people there sitting on the floor waiting for the band to come. Bless. But they want to be at the front. That's the place to be, at the front. I'm happy to hang about at the back and just enjoy the music and not get crushed. Okay, so any questions before we finish? Anybody want to take the mic? Marco, April, do you want to say anything?
About encore, Lynn, don't we say bis, bis, bis? Or is it
I don't know.
more formal?
No, I've never said bis, bis, bis. Maybe again, or bravo. Bravo is something that you might say. Bravo. Where's the encore bit? Let me just find it in the thing.
But bravo is more that you admire them, but you don't request them, because encore is more like request. Bravo is like that you are very
Well
satisfied
done.
with
Yeah.
yes, like well done, yes.
Yeah, but bravo can also be part of the cheering for an encore. Bravo, encore! Now, at a gig, normally it's not encore or bravo. It's I'm not joking now. People start stamping their feet on the floor or on their hands on the stage, and they start doing it in rhythm. And when enough people do that, it's quite nice. You get chills, you know. It's like woo, and that's like, and the whistling, the very loud. I've made that very quiet, by the way. That was me. It drives my husband insane when I do that. Oh no, tell me before you do it so I can block my ears. And other people whistle the really shrill whistle. I can't do that one, but yeah, and it all means get back on stage here. You're not finished yet. Now I've been to about 2 gigs where they don't do encores, and they tell you at the beginning we don't do encores, and they tell you at the end we don't do encores, and people still try, but they never come back on. The Smiths were one of them, and there are others as well. I kind of appreciate it because it means you can go and get your tram or the last bus without feeling you're going to miss something. I've also been at concerts where it was meant to finish at 11 and it's gone on till 2 in the morning. But that has to be on a Friday or Saturday, not during the week. Any other questions? We also use bis. Really, Marco?
Yes, is it
Amazing.
a French word? I
It
don't
must
know.
be. Have you? I've never heard of it.
Really?
Bis.
Oh, okay. Bis, yes.
Yeah, we say also bis, bis.
Bis, yes, yeah.
Like, but I've not heard it in Germany either, because I've been to gigs in Germany and the UK and Spain. I've not heard it there, so it must be a sort of more towards. I don't know. I've never heard it. I'm going to listen out for that now. I'm going to try it at the next concert I go to, see if they recognise it. Biz, biz. You'd have to be very careful saying it though. Oh, the toilets are over there. No, I'm trying to say encore. Okay, so Shiny's asked, does it mean that you go to concerts